Hello, Fat Grandma here. No, this is not the Solds video, I promise you. I still have to do that. I thought that doing this one first would be quicker. I don't know if it's going to be, but maybe faster editing. The Solds videos take a lot of editing, so there's a lot of time involved with that. But I wanted to address an issue with the post office. A lot of people have been talking about issues that they've been having with packages going missing, and I actually talked about this in one of my ride with me's that I did a couple weeks ago, but I never edited and uploaded it. So, this issue was still ongoing, and this particular incident. I never thought I would do a video praising eBay for anything, but if I'm going to talk about the negatives with eBay, like them not removing that unwarranted negative feedback I recently got, I also have to talk about things that they do to make things right for us. So that's partially what this is about. This is mostly about the post office losing things and how they handle things or don't handle things. So I've got a couple of screens open so that I can keep my dates straight, hopefully. And so if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my other monitor so that I can make sure that I don't screw things up when I'm telling you guys things. Weird stuff is going on with my ponytail. And I have wispies that are trying to escape from my head. So I've got a fan going, my AC's on. So if you hear that, that's what that is. It's, I think, close to 100. It's supposed to be close to 100 today. I don't know. Anyway, it's hot. So back on March 28th, I sold this, and it was a decent sale. The box was huge. It was another item that was wrapped in thick black plastic, taped up very, very well. So I packed it up. It was packaged the same way that speaker dock was, in the thick black plastic, and it was a large box. This thing was big, about the same size that speaker dock was, as far as like the length of the package, and it wasn't a small package. So anyway, it was the item itself was 18 inches long, so the box was probably 22 inches. Just the length, and then it was thick too, because I had the original styrofoam packing in the box with the item. So, I shipped it, I shipped it on the 29th. So they paid for it on the 28th. I shipped it on the 29th. It was scanned in, and then nothing happened. Like, there was no, I shipped it on the 29th. No, I created the label on the 29th. I shipped it on the 30th, which was a Saturday. I went to the post office that's far away from me, that has the bins on the loading dock where they're labeled, Grand Advantage, Priority, whatever. And they always scan everything. They're very good about scanning all the packages. That's why I drive so far, because I know that they'll scan them. And you can ask me, why don't you stand in line and get them scanned? I can't do that. Unless the post office is empty and I don't have to stand in line, because if I stand in line for more than 5 minutes, my right thigh starts to go numb and my back starts killing me. So it's just not feasible for me to go inside and stand in line if I have the option of dropping my packages off at a location where I know they will scan them. Anyway, back to the story. So the package gets scanned on the 30th, and it disappears. It just falls off the face of the earth. There's no scans, nothing happens with it. I get a message from the customer on, when was it? It was probably around the 10th of April. So it's been over a week, and the customer still has not gotten this item. I didn't even realize that it hadn't shown up yet. I normally track my packages to see where they are and if if they're moving, or if they've been delivered, and this one, there'd been no movement at all. So I filed and I talked to the customer and I said, look, if it hasn't shown, they said, can they get a refund? And I said, can we wait a couple more days just to see if it happens to move, if they happen to get it. So they gave me until the 13th, which was a Saturday. And if it didn't show up by the 13th, I would refund them. And they'd file, request a refund. So I went online and filled out a form for missing mail. And that was on the 15th, I think. No, it was a couple days before I'd told them that I would give them the refund. I'm messing this up, and I was going to try not to do that because I have all my dates in front of me. Anyway, I filed a missing mail thing, and it was the 9th that I filed that. So I filed that on the 9th, so it must have been the 9th that they got a hold of me. Anyway, I filed the missing mail thing, and didn't hear anything back. Nothing happened. So 13th rolls around. The customer filed a request to cancel the order. I refunded them, and I accepted the cancellation. I refunded them, and that was on the 13th. A few days go by, and on the 17th, I believe it was, I got a phone call from the missing mail people, and they said they had no idea where the package was. They were still looking for it, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden and I went online and filed a claim, because now we're 2 weeks out from me, over 2 weeks from me shipping this thing, and it has just disappeared. There's been no scans, nothing. And they told me they couldn't find it, So I filed a claim for, to get my money back from the post office on the 17th. On the 18th, all of a sudden, it shows up in Memphis at the Memphis Mail Processing Annex. I think it was there already, and it just wasn't getting scanned. I went online just to see what the deal was with this Memphis Mail Processing Annex, and there are all kinds of Reddit threads and all kinds of people just bitching about this location. Like, it's where packages go to die, So anyway, it was at the Memphis Processing Annex on the 18th. Then it said it departed the Processing Annex on the 21st. So 3 days it was there. And in the meantime, when I spoke to that guy with the missing mail, I told him, I said, I've refunded the customer already. If you guys locate that package, it needs to come back to me, because they've already gotten their money back. And so he put a note on the missing mail thing that was attached to the tracking number and all of that, that it was supposed to be returned to me. So when it leaves Memphis, it goes to Florida. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, great, they're going to deliver that stupid package to the customer. And that was on the 21st that it was in transit, Then on the 22nd, in transit to next facility. Then it says departed Seminole, Orlando, Florida distribution, and it was there on the 23rd, and then it was delivered on the 23rd to the customer. Now, in the meantime, USPS supposedly issued me a refund. It's showing that they sent me a check. So I spent probably 3 hours yesterday on the phone with the post office, with a different department at the post office, with another guy at the post office. And then I got a hold of someone in the, what department was it? They gave me a phone number, and I had to call and, of course, go through the steps to actually domestic claims, USPS domestic claims. So I got a phone number, so I had to call them. Then she puts me on hold because I tell her the whole story, and I'm trying to make it quick because I know she's trying to work, and do her accounting or whatever. And I tell her the customer got the package, and so now how do I get my money? If you guys issued me a check, it still hasn't shown up, and it was issued over a week ago. So she said it was issued on the 17th, and today is the 24th, so it's been exactly a week, and it's still not here. So I don't know if they mailed it right away, or someone ate it. I have no idea what happened to the check, but it should not take a week for a check in a regular envelope, to get here, but whatever. Anyway, They could not figure out what I needed to do with this check. And they said, well, if the customer got the product back, then you need to send, if the customer got the item, you need to send us the check. And I said, well, then how do I get my money back? She puts me on hold forever, comes back and says, you need to contact eBay. And I'm like, I'm sorry, did eBay lose my package? Is it eBay's fault that my package was missing for 3 weeks? You know, how is eBay responsible for USPS's mistake? For you guys losing my package, not knowing where it is, not being able to find it, and then delivering it to the customer after I told someone with USPS that it was not to be delivered to the customer. Did no one read the notes? No, apparently not. So I'm like, how stupid are all these people that work at the post office? I mean, really, you know, do your job. And the people that don't scan things when they're supposed to be scanned, that's the first thing. That's why I drive to a post office that is about 8 miles from my house, from where I live, not my house, but it's about 8 miles each way for me to go to the post office, because I go to one where I know they will actually scan my packages. You know, they make sure the packages get scanned, and those people do their jobs. And the other locations, I mean, once it leaves that location where it gets scanned, then it's just a free-for-all. It goes to the downtown hub. It never got scanned there. And wherever it went from the downtown hub until it got to Memphis, it was never scanned. It was scanned where I dropped it off, and then nothing, you know, for 2 weeks, and over 2 weeks. Anyway, so the postal person says, well, you have to mail the check back since the customer got the product. And I said, again, how is this eBay's fault? You know, and I told her, I said, fine, I'll call eBay. So after and there's stuff I'm leaving out. I know I'm leaving stuff out, but, you know, this is enough. Anyway, I get a hold of eBay. I had to do the thing where you ask them to call you back, because the chat thing on the website is stupid, and you can't ever just call them. They have to call you. So I'm sitting there staring at my phone, waiting for a phone call. They call me finally. I tell them what happened. I can't remember if they transferred me to another department or not, but they put my money back in my account. They refunded me, because they basically force us to refund the customer if the customer requests to cancel the order. So because I refunded the customer like I was supposed to, they took the ding off of my account. Supposedly, I haven't looked, but they said they would remove the ding on my account for the package being late, excuse me, and for the customer requesting to cancel the order. I guess that's harmful to your account. I didn't even know. And then they gave me my money that I had to refund the customer. So now the customer has the platter, the serving tray, and they asked me, the customer's like, what do I do with this? And I'm like, well, I already got my money back, so I'm not going to spend the money to have you ship it back to me. Just donate it, because they already went out. That's why when they got the package, they sent me a message, and they're like, I just got the package. I knew it was there. I got an email from the post office telling me it was there, because I'd requested updates on this particular package once we had an issue with it, you know. So anyway, I knew it was there. I was like, whatever. And so the customer, you know, contacted me, and they're like, what do I do with this? And I said, well, if you know, initially I didn't know if eBay was going to give me my money back, or if the post office was going to let me keep that check that they sent supposedly. And I told them, I said, let me find out what's going to happen, and I'll get back to you within a couple of days, you know. And so this customer has been, I'm so glad this was a good customer. I'm so grateful that this person was a nice person and an understanding person, because I totally could have gotten negative feedback from the whole rigmarole that's gone on with this package. And they were very understanding. They were super nice, you know, just, and they even said that they would ship it back to me if I sent them a shipping label. And so once I found out that eBay was going to make good on it, I was like, just keep it. But they already bought another one, so not the same thing, but another serving tray or whatever. And so they didn't need it. and they've already gotten their money back, and I told them, I said, just donate it. Just donate it somewhere, just not Goodwill. Donate it to someone else, but not Goodwill. And they were like, that's fine, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's happy now. And so I have to give eBay thumbs up on giving me my money back. And it was pretty painless. It did not take because the girl asked me point blank, what kind of resolution are you looking for? And I was like, well, I want my money. I said, the post office is telling me I have to send them the check back because the customer got the product. You guys made me give them a refund because it wasn't there on time, which I was happy to do because I felt bad for them. They didn't get their item, and it was 2 weeks. They were very patient, this customer, So these kind of customers make up for the assholes, like the one that left me the negative feedback that was completely unwarranted. This customer that didn't get their serving tray actually left me positive feedback. She didn't even have to do that because the order was canceled. It was over with. And the thing that I don't understand why eBay allows canceled transactions to still get feedback, but whatever, that's a whole other video. Anyway, they still left me positive feedback. And so, again, I can't say enough good things about this customer. I appreciate the fact eBay refunded me because the post office, the USPS people are giant assholes. They're not helping anybody. And there's so many people complaining about missing packages. It's not even funny. I've seen so many videos, and for this thing to go missing for almost 3 weeks, how does that happen? And it's like I told the girl in the accounting department at the post office, I was like, how does something this big, it's not like it was a little tiny, there's some packages I ship that are like 6x4x4 boxes, so they're not very big. I would expect one of those to go missing, not this giant box. I mean, it's not giant, but it's pretty big, How do they lose those? I don't understand. Anyway, that is my story for USPS and eBay and the whole kit and caboodle. I'm glad it's over with. And this is another thing that was contributing. If you guys saw my most recent video, that was kind of like a life update. I've been depressed. Just everything has been kind of weighing on me. This was one of the things that was hovering over my head, that was kind of looming out there and that was bothering me, So this is over with. The issue with the speaker dock is over with, and so I'm hoping that the door issue here will get resolved. She's mentioned taking the baby chickens out of the laundry room and moving them into the barn with the big chickens, but she has to keep them separate because the big chickens will beat up the little ones. They're not friendly to other chickens, and because there's like this stray chicken that shows up. It gets out of its yard. It's one of the neighbor's chickens, and it gets out of the yard, and it comes down the alley and tries to hang around here. And so because these babies are a different age than my mom's full grown hens that are like, I think they're 2 or 3 now. Anyway, she's got to keep them separate. So that's going on, but hopefully that will be resolved soon, and I'll be able to go out through the laundry room when I need to go to the post office and stuff. So, I'm working on all of it, and I have marked a lot of stuff in my store 30% off. I'm going through each day and seeing what else I'm willing to take 30% off of. And okay, I'm going to talk about that in another video because now I'm getting off the subject. This was just supposed to be about the debacle with the post office and USPS. They need to get their shit together. They need to make sure their employees are doing what they're supposed to. I don't know if this is true or not, but my mother said they're after another raise. And it's like, no, you don't get a raise until everybody starts doing their job and you're not losing all of our shit, Oh. Anyway, I understand if a truck wrecks or if, things happen. But for too large, and other people are talking about this too, it's not just me. A lot of people are having problems with USPS losing stuff lately. And I don't know what the problem is. But if you see here's one thing, if you see any of your packages, if you're a seller and you see a package or a buyer and you're watching tracking, if you see your package go to Memphis, just be aware it may be there for a while because, again, people on Reddit, people online, people on Google reviews, there's nobody has anything good to say about this location at Memphis. It's just bad. Whoever's there and the people working there, whoever's in charge, they don't have their shit together. And, you know, like I said, packages go there to die, disappear, whatever. So that is it for this video. How long have I been talking? 24 minutes. Okay, kids. I will do my solds video. I will record that probably tomorrow, I hope. And I may include more than a month of sales. I may just go ahead and include the packages that I shipped this morning because I had a few sales since I did the cutoff on the 20th for my video. So I may throw those in. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys have, what is today? Wednesday. A good rest of your week. And I will hopefully see you very soon with that solds video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you soon. Bye.